Good morning, everyone. Well, I want to walk you through the next 3 days in Iowa because there's going to be snow in Iowa over the next 3 days. But when and where the heaviest snow is going to be falling certainly is going to vary. So let's get started with this morning. Quiet across the state. Now, a little more cloud cover in the western part of the state, but a lot of sun in the eastern part of the state. I tell you what, the biggest story for western Iowa today, even though yes, there will be snow that will be pushing in this afternoon, though it's not going to be much. I do think it's going to be isolated snow showers, maybe as early as about 3 o'clock. But it's Sioux-City, boy, a lot cooler today than what we were seeing yesterday. We kind of got a nice taste of spring yesterday, not so much today. Look at that temperature at 3 o'clock, 25 degrees. Meanwhile, over to the east, it will be warmer, just a little bit cooler than what we were seeing yesterday. Temperatures mainly in the mid-30s. Let's go a little bit farther in time. Notice that we never see any heavy snow around the Sioux City. But basically, from this afternoon through the evening hours and into tomorrow morning around the Sioux City area, I'm looking at isolated snow showers. It might snow for a little bit and then stop, and snow for a little bit and stop. But we haven't seen any heavy snow in the state yet, have we? This is Wednesday evening. We jump ahead a little bit farther in time, and I want to stop at Thursday morning, specifically at 10 a.m., because I think that's when there's going to be a transition between western Iowa and eastern Iowa. So for places like Sioux City, I think the snow chance coming to an end Thursday at 10 a.m. But the snow chance finally beginning for places like the Quad Cities. Now, I know the shade of blue isn't quite showing up around Davenport, Moline just yet, but I wouldn't rule out late morning Thursday, the first flurry activities starting to show up. Sometimes the models don't pick up on that very light snow that can sometimes occur around the main area of snow. So maybe some flurries late morning, but I do think the morning commute is going to be dry. All right, let's go a little bit farther in time to how about the homebound commute. Doesn't look like heavy snow in the Quad Cities, but yes, I do think snow showers on the ground, light to moderate snow, and you know how it is. Light to moderate snow when folks are on the road can slow things down. Not a nightmare of a drive Thursday afternoon, but it could be slowed just a little bit. Now, the latest timing, this could still shift a little bit, is actually showing the most widespread and perhaps the potential for a little bit of heavy snow as well around the Quad Cities area, Burlington, actually pretty late Thursday night. This is midnight on Friday. And notice that's kind of like the peak of it across eastern Iowa at this point. And notice that the clouds are already breaking up around the Sioux City area. So let's go a little bit farther in time to the late morning hours on Friday, because I do want to still mention the chance, though I think the activity is going to peak overnight, perhaps still some snow showers, again, light snow showers for that Friday morning commute, and maybe still some flurry activity late morning around the Quad Cities, but a lot of the state, Friday at 10 a.m., notice, are going to be dry. And I really think that by the time we get to Friday afternoon, the snow will be gone, but it's going to be how cold it's feeling and how windy it's going to be. We're looking at gusts 30, 35 miles per hour across the state. And I think that's really going to be impacting folks around Sioux City, because look at that temperature at 3 o'clock on Friday. 19 degrees. There's actually a cold front that's going to push in. So that's why there's such variety in temperatures across, say, from 19 in Sioux City to 32 around the Davenport area. But again, that 32 is going to feel colder than that because of the wind chill factor. All right, now let's talk about the all-important question, how much snow? Well, I want to stress the really tight snowfall gradient that we're going to be seeing. This is the model average. So this is the most likely amount, but again, the chance of these specific amounts actually occurring are pretty small. But I do think that the amount of snow we're going to see isn't going to be close to these values. But in general, I would add about an inch to all these amounts, and I'd subtract an inch and kind of give yourself a range, because there's still time for things to fluctuate a little bit. I think most likely around the Quad Cities, we're looking at about 2 inches of snow, but I wouldn't rule out as much as 3 inches or as little as an inch, depending on exactly where that heaviest snow sets up and exactly how long it lasts. Meanwhile, it could be significantly more, though, around Burlington, for example, where model average is coming in about 5 inches, so perhaps as much as 6 inches, and probably no less than 4 inches. You can see that band across the far southern part of the state. Meanwhile, across the northern part of the state, Mason City, Waterloo, Fort Dodge, Sioux City, we're probably only looking at around a half an inch. And I will say, anywhere in that light shade of blue, there could be spots that actually miss out on the snow, or you might only get a dusting. At most, anywhere in that light shade of blue, we might be talking about an inch, but significantly more across the southern part of the state for sure. Tune back in tomorrow morning. I'll have the latest timing for you for what we can expect and maybe pinpoint exactly when and how long that heaviest snow is going to last, particularly in eastern Iowa, for you tomorrow.